My name is Laree Arthur. I first moved to Grants Pass in 1944. After graduating from Grants Pass High School, I worked in 6 other states for 45 years. Then I chose to retire here 15 years ago. I encourage everyone to vote on real facts rather than hysterical assertions. I'm confident the city will provide a link to the Josephine County Assessor's page where you can look up the assessed value of your property. Facts. My property tax total is almost $5,000. Most of that goes to schools and the jail levy, or the jail bond, and public safety, city public safety. My home's assessed value is $376,240. Now the $1.79 levy is $673. The $34 jail utility fee brings this portion to $707. In order for me to pay $700 in new sales tax, I would have to spend over $40,000 on taxable purchases. That is more than my entire Social Security and AAA retirement income, so obviously that's not going to happen. My mortgage, utilities, gasoline, medical costs, unprepared food, and many other things will not be taxable. If I spent as much as $100 a week, which is not likely, on taxable items, I would pay less than $100 a year. So I will still gain $600 or $50 a month. When the next legislature passes the $2 bill, and if and when it ever gets constitutionally done, to require all counties to collect enough tax to pay for minimum services, I would still be ahead by $200 after paying for the county sheriff patrols. Most counties and townships in the U.S. pay far more than that. The city residents will benefit from this sales tax, and I strongly encourage that it be 2% and cover services, not one or the other.
Thank you. Linda Bradley.
Hello. So I'm a resident of Grants Pass, Linda Bradley. I work at the chamber part-time doing marketing, and I've been blessed to walk around for the last 2 years, door to door, in and out of every business in Grants Pass and beyond, but definitely Grants Pass. We did a BR&E survey about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was part of it. And what I learned, and I really was not vested in anything that's going on today, really hadn't given it much thought, that people had no idea that this was happening. They had no idea. So my feeling is that what kind of notification have you been doing the last 30 days to your business owners here in town? You know, is there notification that they could be involved, be part of a task force? What notification have you in the past 60 days given local business, retail, restaurants, you know, have they been involved? That's probably the biggest question I have, because I've been going out since then and actually talking to people that I'm shocked, business owners that had no idea what's going on here today. Business owners, and I'm sure that you've heard from them as well. I grew up in Southern California. Taxes was the game. Every town in California is 35, 45,000. I live here and I feel like I came from Chino Hills, right? You know, my same town, same amount of people. the towns that have, I left there 13% when you bought something, which is why I loved coming here. I could come here and save money just visiting my family. And that's really the attitude of a lot of people that come to Oregon. You're changing the culture. You're changing the ecosystem. And my question is, are you ready to be the first city in the state of Oregon to have a sales tax? Are you ready for that? Because that's really what you're doing. Sure, we need law enforcement. Yes, we need everything, but I don't understand why you're taking away what you have in place. If you're going to add sales tax, keep what you have in place. It doesn't make sense. Keep your property taxes so your residents are doing their part, and then have sales tax to do all the wonderful things that need to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Gordon Langbeck.
Gordon Langenbeck, live here in the city. First off, Jay, I have one question not to answer here, but you said there's 854 exempt business from paying taxes. Hope they're all 501(c)(3)s. You said there's 4 legs to the criminal justice system. I asked myself, where is the county? Because one of those legs is the district attorney, and the other leg is filling up the other 100 and some odd beds in the jail. I've seen nothing that shows city-county cooperation in making this happen. The other question that I would ask is, have you considered a Rogue Valley sales tax? And you've given a lot of facts, and you're right, that it's not a big deal. But in the perception of most people, they're trying to do me under in Grants Pass. So have you looked at all with, say, Jay and his counterparts in the cities, in both Josephine County, the county tax guys, to meet and look at the possibility of a Rogue Valley sales tax that may go a long way to leveling the playing field? Thank you.
Thank you. Last blue sheet is Colleen Martin.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, staff, and public. First of all, I want to thank the task force because they did do a good job. I sat in through most of those meetings, and they did a great job for the task that was before them. But I do agree, and I want to make a point of clarification, that the 7 task force members, 5 of those are likely to be exempt. But in addition, according to what I saw today from Jay's slide, unique exemptions when the point of service is outside Grants Pass. I did a calculation. I was trying to just kind of target some of the businesses and how much they pay, and I chose Hellgate as one of those because Robert was on the committee. I was thinking, okay, Hellgate will probably pay $500,000 to $750,000 a year in the sales tax with the number of people. I was calculating the 70,000 people that he said he sends down the river. But from that slide today, when the point of service is outside Grants Pass, his point of service is outside of Grants Pass. He's exempt. So now you have 1 that is on that list. I want to point out the Chamber of Commerce supports public safety. We worked really hard in the last 2 ballot elections to get the public safety measures passed. It's really important to us. It's important to our businesses. I support the idea of giving the juvenile justice system open. I think that's a terrific idea. I think it'll help alleviate a lot of the pressure. I don't support the idea of you taking a $3 million debt, and that's what you're asking to do. I was a little tiny business person. We did $2 million a year in our business, and if you'd asked me to take on $20,000 in debt, I would have questioned that. The city is now asking you to take on $3 million in additional debt by passing this. Your $5 million for your $1.79, the extra $1 million that they're getting with public safety, and they need a total of $8 million. They're asking you to take on additional debt. That's a lot of dollars, and look at your overall budget. Looking at from a budget point of view, that's a big risk. Speaking of risk, city government employees don't take any risk on a daily basis on their paychecks. Businesses take risk every single day. They can't set budgets. You can't set a budget for a business and think it's going to work out at the end of the year, because it doesn't. You adjust as you go. So these businesses are at risk every single day. I ask you, the city councilors that have worked hard the past 5 years, since 2009, when there was a recall, I ask you to vote no on this. I ask you, please, bring this community together. We need to unite, not divide, and that's what you're doing to us as a business community. Just say no. Either resolution, neither one of them works well.
Okay, I'm out of blue sheets. Anybody else wish to speak? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Richard Emmons. I'm a resident of the city of Grants Pass and glad to be one. To the mayor and the council and the staff, I appreciate this time to speak to all of you. I want to speak to the issue of uncertainty, and Colleen spoke to it to a degree, but just when you're in business, you have so much uncertainty today just from the federal, state, and now the local government. At the federal level, we've been dealing with Obamacare and the impact on providing benefits to our employees, or even to our own selves. Tremendous uncertainty. At the state level, they just passed mandatory sick leave. This is a big uncertainty for businesses. This past week, I had a workman's comp audit at my business. 6 months ago, I had an unemployment audit. Would we be looking forward to sales tax audits? See, there's uncertainty revolving this whole sales tax issue. Because even if it doesn't pass, there's still going to be uncertainty in the minds of potential businesses of whether or not to start a business in Grants Pass. Because we've seen with the public safety levy at the county level, it's the Energizer Bunny. It comes back, and it comes back, and it comes back. I would say put a stake in it. Kill this idea of a sales tax. This is a rogue tax that we don't need. When someone wants to start a business in downtown Grants Pass, they often have to sign a 3 to 5 year lease. They're signing their name that even if their business fails, they still have to pay that rent. And they really have no idea whether or not this sales tax is going to hurt their business or not make any difference. It certainly doesn't help their business. It doesn't make us a place people want to come to. So I really want you to think about the uncertainty that a sales tax would do. And I can appreciate from the city standpoint wanting a permanent tax rather than a temporary tax, because a permanent tax would eliminate some of the city's uncertainty. I can appreciate them wanting that, but it would add tremendous uncertainty to the business community. And a little bit of uncertainty in a business keeps you on your toes. The retail store owners need to understand, what are my consumers going to want to buy? What color shirt should I buy, or handbags, whatever they sell? They have to look out in the future and think, what do they want to buy? Tremendous uncertainty. So I would trade a little bit of uncertainty at the city level to eliminating a tremendous amount of uncertainty at the city business level. Let's not kill the golden goose. 20 years ago, we stopped the road from going through 6th and 7th Street and turning the massive highway. Let's not kill the downtown with a sales tax. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. My name is Indra Nicholas. I live in the city. I also own a business in the city. I'm just really confused. It seems so complicated with all the exemptions and everything. I voted for the safety levy, so I know there's a real need for safety and changes in our community. My car was stolen once in the last 3 years, burglarized twice, fairly close to here. So something needs to be done. I'm just wondering, I'm not sure if I'm exempt or not. I have an in-home care agency, so we have caregivers that go into seniors' homes and provide care there. We're non-medical, that was an exemption. We're not an elder care facility where seniors come to live. So it looks like I would be a business, a service that would be taxed. We generate quite a bit of revenue, 3.5 million a year, because there's a huge need here. We have over 100 and probably 50 employees, caregivers, and staff in the area. I could not absorb the tax amount, so that would need to be passed on to our clients who are seniors, some of whom there's that $1,000 cap for big item, but we're not a big item. Many, 80% of our clients have services 3 to 7 days a week and pay up to $7,500 a month if they're receiving 24-hour care. So is there a cap on that? Or are they going to pay these huge taxes because of the care they need? So please take that, I'm nervous, sorry. Please take that into consideration. We're a retirement community. There's a huge need for senior care, and what would be the cost on our seniors? Thank you.
Thank you. Someone else? Yes, sir. Front row, or nearly the front.
I just want to say I understand.
Excuse me, your name,
Mark,
please.
yeah, I'm sorry. Mark Hutto.
Thank you.
I actually live in Medford. I run a coin shop here in town. And I understand the gravity of the situation that we're facing here, being downtown. There's quite a bit of crime. And I've actually helped solve a few of them, and it is a lot of hard work. And they do need funds, so I'm not here saying I'm not willing to pay anything. But I have some concerns. As you had mentioned, growing up in the Valley, a lot of people do go to Costco in Medford to shop. And quite frequently in my shop, I hear people say that. They go, we'll go into Medford and we'll just buy it there while we're in Medford. And I have to convince them to buy it while they're here. And in the coin and gold bullion and silver bullion part of my business, on an $1,100 coin, I might make $20. Well, the city's going to make $20 too. So for me, it's a 50% tax on those items. I have people that walk out of my shop on bullion. For example, if they're going to buy an ounce of silver and I'm a nickel over a shop in Medford, since they're going to buy 100 of them, they're going to wait until they go to Medford on their trip to Costco, and they're going to stop into one of the shops there, and they're going to buy it there. Now, and another thing that concerns me too is a lot of the data that's being used, like the census data. There's a good possibility that they're including online sales, because I know that in my online sales part of my business, we do quite a bit. It's probably 75% of my business now. It used to be 10%, but it continues to go up. And if they're including that data, that won't be revenue that you'll get from this tax. And that's a very serious thing to consider, because if it passes, it is going to do damage. I mean, from an economic perspective, we can't say that it's not going to do damages to the small business. It is. I was in Ashland when they passed the 5% mills tax. And the reason, and I'm not advocating, by the way, a mills tax in Grants Pass, because I think the demographic here is different, and the reason they passed it in Ashland is different. They passed the mills tax because it was something that was avoidable by the local community. In other words, if you lived in Ashland, you could still shop in Ashland, and you could avoid the mills tax by not going out to eat a prepared meal. You could shop at your local store, and it was tax-free. Now, they were thinking about doing a general sales tax, and it was much lower than the 5% mills tax. Ooh, I'm getting close.
Got 30 seconds.
Okay. But there was a lot of outrage on that, because there was a large number of people already traveling to Medford from Ashland, and those numbers would increase. So this tax would kill my business. There's no doubt about it, because you're taking half of my commission, basically, as a tax. And 11 seconds. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I hope you take into consideration what I've said, because it's very serious what's being considered here. It's not something to take lightly. Thanks for listening.